Take it easy.
Shut up.
The car's brand new.
This shit ain't working, man.
It's coded.
What's the code, man?
I'm afraid I can't give you that.
Well, I'm afraid we'll have to beat out you. What's
Let's get out of this car. Get out of
Come on, man. What you got for me, player? What you got? Kick your ass. Come on, baby.
The story begins with a standard driver named Frank sitting in his brand new Audi in a parking lot, about to pick up a young boy named Jack from school. Frank is calm, collected, and follows a strict set of self-imposed rules. He's not your ordinary chauffeur. Soon, a girl approaches his car, asking for help. Frank politely declines, telling her he doesn't have time. But suddenly, she pulls a gun on him and orders him to step out. That same moment a group of thugs arrives and climbs into Frank's car, assuming it's an easy score. But when they fail to start the engine, Frank coldly tells them the car needs a code to run. As tension rises, Frank quietly removes his jacket, and the fight erupts. With precise and brutal efficiency, Frank takes down the thugs without breaking a sweat. Terrified, the girl flees, and Frank doesn't chase, he simply picks up Jack from school as planned. Later, while dropping Jack off at home, Frank notices Mr. and Mrs. Billings arguing. Wanting to give them some privacy, he quietly rolls the car forward. Mrs. Billings, clearly frustrated with her marriage, briefly flirts with Frank, but he respectfully maintains his boundaries, reminding her that he has rules. That night, while Frank is ordering dinner at home, Mrs. Billings shows up again, this time much bolder in her approach. Once again, Frank turns her down politely but firmly, reiterating that he's just the driver and sending her home. Meanwhile, from the shadows, a man named Gianni Cellini is secretly watching the Billings family. He's the mastermind behind a bioterrorism plot involving a lethal green virus and a matching purple antidote, hinting at a carefully orchestrated plan with devastating consequences. The following morning, Frank drives Jack to the hospital for what's supposed to be a routine appointment. But as soon as they arrive, Frank senses something's wrong. The nurse's outfit seems suspicious, especially her high heels, and the doctor she refers to isn't the one Frank was expecting. Then Frank notices blood seeping from under a nearby door. Acting fast, he bursts in and finds Jack just seconds away from being injected with the virus.
Keep going, Jack!
Before he can grab the boy and leave, Lola, Gianni's lethal enforcer, appears and opens fire. Frank dodges the bullets and rushes Jack to the parking lot. Lola orders her men to plant a bomb under Frank's Audi. Unaware of the danger, he jumps into the car and speeds off, only to be chased yet again. Fortunately, his bulletproof Audi holds up, and they escape unscathed. Later, Frank drops Jack at his surprise birthday party. But just before the boy moves outside, Jack's phone rings. It's Gianni, calmly warning him that a sniper has Jack in his sights and if Frank makes a wrong move, the boy dies instantly. With no choice, Frank agrees to cooperate. He lets Lola into his car and follows her directions. As police cars close in, Frank drives like a man possessed, dodging traffic, weaving through narrow lanes, and slamming cruisers out of the way. He finally arrives at Gianni's warehouse, where Jack is taken hostage. Gianni orders him to leave without any harm. But Frank senses something's wrong. That's when he sees it. He spots the bomb planted under his car. Frank is forced into the car, and he pulls off a bold move, flipping the Audi midair using a crane. The explosive tears off and detonates behind him in a fiery blast. Later, Gianni demands $100 million from Mr. Billings. The father is furious and thinks Frank betrayed them, but Mrs. Billings still believes in Frank, he promised to protect Jack. Soon, Frank tracks the fake doctor, Dimitri, back to the hospital. A thug tries to kill him, but Frank fights back. Though the serum is accidentally destroyed in the process, Frank thinks fast. He creates a fake version and escapes. Meanwhile, police detective Turconi, Frank's friend, helps Frank identify Dimitri as a Russian biologist. When Frank learns this, he follows Dimitri to his hideout and confronts him. Another chase kicks off. Dimitri runs, firing shots at Frank, then flees through the fire exit. Frank gives chase, leaping onto a jet ski and making a bold jump, landing on a road and continuing the pursuit. Dimitri boards a bus, but Frank catches up and injects him with the virus. Terrified, Dimitri runs to a secret lab to get the antidote, unaware that Frank is following him close behind. Inside the lab, Dimitri kills one of Gianni's men and demands the antidote. Just then, Frank bursts in, but another thug blocks his path. After taking down the thug, Frank confronts Dimitri. After a brief scuffle, Frank kills him, only to learn Dimitri was never infected. When the scientist throws the only 2 vials of antidote out the window, Frank leaps after them. He slams into a taxi, rolls into traffic, and desperately scrambles to retrieve them. 1 vial shatters. Frank barely recovers a second before a truck rolls over him. Meanwhile, Gianni collects the ransom but doesn't release Jack. After tracking his hideout, the police finally recover the boy, but he's already infected. Frank soon learns that Jack is the carrier, and anyone he breathes on could die. At the Billings, Jack's fever is rising, and Mrs. Billings is crushed. Frank arrives and sneakily breaks into the house and gives Jack the antidote, saving his life just in time. Frank tells the boy's mother the truth. The real target is Mr. Billings, who's en route to a global conference. Anyone he comes into contact with risks infection. Frank calls Turconi, who locates Gianni's mansion. As Frank drives there, police tail him, so he hijacks a taxi and heads to the final confrontation. At Gianni's mansion, the villain injects the last antidote into himself, believing it's safest that way. But Frank crashes in.
Stop him.
As he corners Gianni, Lola returns and points a gun at Frank. Gianni orders her to kill him. With a brutal sidekick, Frank sends her crashing into a wine rack, where she dies. Gianni tries to flee to his private plane, but Frank finds him in a Lamborghini, and a live news broadcast starts filming his wild pursuit. Frank chases after the plane and speeds down the runway, so fast. He launches the car onto the landing gear of the jet and climbs aboard. Inside, a deadly brawl breaks out midair. The plane crashes into the ocean, and as the wreck sinks, Frank chooses not to let Gianni drown. He needs the antidote. He gives him a life jacket and pulls him to the surface. Soon, police boats swarm in and arrest Gianni. Later in the hospital, Frank brings flowers to Jack but walks away when he sees Jack reunited with his happy family. But just as Frank is about to leave town, his phone rings, a new client needs a transporter, and the film ends when Frank is listening. Subscribe for more dramas like this, and don't forget to like this video, it really helps the channel grow.